Hey guys, it's BW and we're back out in the garage. We got a nice day, so we come out and took advantage of it. It's in between rainstorms. We had rain, you can see it's pretty damp around here, but we have a big storm coming tomorrow. But today, no rain, and I don't even have to wear my jacket. I was able to shed that. Pretty nice out here. It's almost 50 degrees. But anyway, we just been working back here cutting out all the rot. I've been putting up shorts. A lot of you guys seen them. I still have 2 more shorts to put out on this. I'll probably put them out Monday and Tuesday, so you might watch this and be like, hey, that's already out. But I try to mix it up. I try to, instead of having a bunch of fast forwards and stuff, I try to show shorts of me doing the work, and then we'll talk about it, see how that works out, see if you guys like that. I don't know, but you can see where, man, I'll tell you, that job right there, getting that last piece of trunk floor out, oh man, where it drops down there, and you guys that watch the shorts, I had a flare hidden over there, and man, it was something else. And plus the way this thing was put in at the factory, they did a heck of a job. They didn't want it ever to come apart. I gave up like 4 or 5 times. But we got it out, right? I started cutting up there. I was like, well, maybe these spot welds, and then I come around to the backside and look, and no, them spot welds were only for that plate that connects the, I don't know, what would you guys call that? Is that the rear firewall or whatever? There's a plate in between there that connects it to the floor pan and the trunk pan. And there was like so many different things, and between all the rot, and I tried drilling some. I ended up cutting a bunch with the plasma cutter. I took this trunk drop down out today, and you can see, look at this inner tub. It's just, there's nothing here. I kind of figured, you know, I could look up in there and see, and you'll see in the short that they had this thing just boogered in there any old way, and so we cut that loose, and I'll work on cutting this side loose. I guess I could make some patterns and patch that, but then it's really rotted right there, and there's missing a big window in there where they made a patch that was really bad, and I cut a lot of that out, I guess about midsummer. So I'm thinking I just want to buy myself some inner tubs. Now everybody's after me, oh, you ought to just tub it, BW, just tub it. I have a full interior for the car, and I would like to put it back in. I was talking to some people, Shop 209 was telling me too, you can fit a 275 60/15 under a stock wheel well for a Nova. That's pretty good with the correct back spacing. I'm not sure, with ours is supposedly out of some kind of Camaro, so that's not the stock rear. So I'm going to have to get some kind of measuring implement or something to figure out the rims and everything I would need. But I think I want to stick with the stock inner tubs. And it's like, a lot of people are like, man, you're this far, you're going to pull them out, you ought to tub it or mini tub it. And I'll go in and I'll read about it. But I was looking, and I've been following a couple people that have done the work on that before, and you know, I have the frame rails up here, and you actually have to cut the frame rails and shrink them. The seats, I think, need to be springs removed, and it just turns into a whole bunch of stuff I'm really not interested in getting into. and it's going to be a really cool car regardless, you know, and a 275 60/15 is going to be fine for me. Hey guys, I love fat tires just like everybody else. I mean, case in point, right on our 55. You know, we got 315s on that bad boy right now. So it's just what I'm gonna do. And I'm looking at the floor, and you know, it's really bad and chewed up. There's nothing left in the back. I don't know, let me see if I got that flashlight in there and I can show you guys. There's absolutely nothing left. It's just where the frame rails was, it's just completely rotted. Now they sell a patch that goes from here all the way back with the braces on it, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it would work out, and we've already put the pan patches in the front here, but at the end of the day, we've come this far. I'm actually leaning towards, let's just cut the floor out and get a full floor. That way we'll have a full floor, full trunk, new inner and outer wheel tubs, new quarter panels, you know, and that way we've gone through the car pretty thoroughly. So I'm leaning towards a full floor. Now I'm not going to buy the floor right away. It's not because I'm poor. I mean, I don't have a bunch of money or anything like that, but it's because I don't have anywhere to put it right now, guys. You know, I got my quarter panels there. I got the trunk the trunk floor there, and stuff like that. And I don't want to have the floor laying here. I got everything already done. So what I feel like I want to do is I'm going to go in and order the inner tubs. We're going to get those, and we're going to do that job. All right. And I'm going to cut the floor all the way out, but I have to figure out how I'm going to do that, because it's still got the engine and transmission in it, and it's still got the frame rail. So if maybe I can figure out a way to support the frame rails and the transmission and everything like that, and how everything is, and then we'll just cut the floor out, prep everything, and when the floor's ready to go in, because obviously it has to go in before we put the trunk floor in, but you know, when it's ready to go in, I'll order it. That way it could just get here, because it only takes 3 days, 5 days or whatever to get here. Summit's pretty good to me, but that's what I'll do. We'll work on getting that out, and then we'll get everything prepped, and then we'll do that job that way. But that's down the road. That's not right away, because like I said, I want to do the inner tubs first. I may cut access windows in the quarters just to make life easier. We'll see, because we're changing the quarters. Jobs I'm going to do in the interim, in the meantime, is I want to put this tail light tray in. I mean, you guys can see this one. There's just, look at this. There's this. I think this is what's left. That might be a piece of the floor, or that's a piece left there. Yeah, that's the floor, because I took the crossover out. I was thinking it could be the crossover, but I think the floor goes to the tray, and then the crossover goes under the floor into each side. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep track of how I'm putting this thing together, or how I'm taking this apart, because I got to put it back together. And we're going to see how that's going to be an event, right? So I don't know if I want to take these torsion bars apart and all that stuff. I did that once before, and it's just a mess. I'm not very good at that. So I might just go down to Lowe's or something and get another cheap piece of this bar. And I might just weld a bar to the inside of the quarters and to that, and just support it. And then just cut them loose from the inner tubs, and then put the inner tubs on. We'll see. It's like, I'm not very conventional. I don't mind doing stuff, but I got guys, you don't want to do it that way. I'll do it whatever way, you know. I don't care. Whatever happens, man. This car should have went to the crusher, and we're fixing it. So that's what it is. It's like, you know, this car's getting saved. But like I say, a lot of guys are going to give me some stuff about the tubs and all the inner wheel tubs. I want a full interior. I have all the parts in for the inside. I have the full carpet kit. So why would I mess with that? The only thing I might change is I might get rid of the front bench seat and go with buckets. We'll see. You know, we'll see how that goes. But you can see that the shop space is extremely limited right now. Don't worry about the roof of the car with the frame rails up there. Yeah, I got the blanket there, but dude, there is so many. Anybody that's been watching from this summer, that roof's got so many dings and dents and push downs in it. We're not hurting nothing. We might end up putting a roof on it for all I know once we start digging into it. Before I take the quarters out, my buddy's got to come over and help me get this glass out before we mess around with that too much. I mean, but hey, we're getting it. That's where we're going with this job anyway. So it's fun to follow along. I hope you guys are following along anyway. But I mean, you guys remember, look at this quarter job that they did was just awful. It's just awful. So, you know, you come over here and you come into the front of it. I don't know how many of you guys remember. There's an open seam right down through there. I can't really get in there for you guys to see, but that's wide open for the air and the water and everything else to get into. It's like, I understand, you know, they wanted to take the job on, but they didn't want to go all the way with it, you know. It needed to go all the way. I mean, the sail on this thing, look at it. I'm gonna have, I got this quarter with the full sail. The passenger side, I don't have the full sail. I just bought what they had, but it has a sail, but it's over in the shed. It's just the quarter, but it came with a sail but unattached. But we'll put it together if it needs it. I'm just, you know, I'll dig around and we'll see. If it doesn't need it, I'm not gonna mess with it. But if it needs it, we'll do it. But I mean, look for this week. Maybe I get out here a little bit and we work on getting at least this tail light tray changed out, because we got a lot of digging at that to get that out of there and figure that out. And I'm just going to screw it in and maybe put a couple tacks, something easy to take apart, so that, because obviously when we do the quarters we got to separate that, so I won't be doing any of the full welding that goes right here. I think there's spot welds right here and right here, and then it kind of just lays in here and here. So at least I think. I've never done it before. We'll find out together. But anyway, this update was for you guys that maybe don't watch the shorts or just want a little more explanation of what I'm doing, because that's what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. All right, so that's what I got going on the Nova. We're gonna save this thing, man. And hey, maybe next week, they were saying the 13th of December, there's another toy run or something. So I might be able to get the 55 out one more time, depending on the shape of the yard. And I get excited about that. I love driving that thing around. And I think I'm gonna start ordering a couple things for that. And I gotta unhook the battery, because we gotta do some welding on that car here coming up too. So when I get a little burned out here, we'll just jump over and work on that one a little bit. All right. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I sure am enjoying making it. If you haven't yet, you might want to consider subscribing. Doesn't cost you a penny. It sure does help me. All right. So until next time, take care, everybody.